A group of friends went night fishing in Carlton, Michigan. After catching a few catfish, two of them headed back to the car to rest. Then one of the friends still on the boat called them, panicked and out of breath, saying he saw something crouching near the trees and moving unnaturally. They rushed back so fast that they ended up damaging the trolling motor in the chaos. After that, one friend decided to investigate. From about 200 yards away, he shone a powerful flashlight toward the woods and saw something terrifying.
Get up closer to it.
Bro.
Call.
Terrified, he sprinted back to the others. They jumped into the car, locked the doors, and stayed awake the entire night. A woman glanced out the window of her truck and saw something shocking.
What the hell?
She somehow managed to start recording just in time. She claimed it looked like a ghost. Some people believed it was a real paranormal sighting, while others said it was just amateur CGI made for attention. The original post was supposedly from someone named Kendall Turner, but her profile could not be found anywhere. So the question is, was it real? This footage, supposedly recorded in the woods, shows a strange humanoid creature that looks nothing like a normal animal.
Yeah. Uh-huh. He sees it. Oh, God. We're going. He also sees a bird. What the? Look it. Oh, what?
It has long black hair, a tail, and webbed feet, giving it an eerie and unnatural appearance. As it moves, it suddenly pauses like it senses someone watching, then quietly slips behind a tree and disappears. The whole scene looks almost too perfect, which makes it seem like it could be AI generated or created with advanced CGI. The person who shared the footage says it is a camel spider, and that seems believable. Camel spiders are desert arachnids found in places like the Middle East, Africa, and parts of the Americas. Even though they are called spiders, they are not actually true spiders or scorpions. They are known for being fast and having a scary-looking body, which is why so many people panic when they see them. A lot of the stories about them are exaggerated, but the truth is they are not venomous and are not a major danger to humans. They mainly survive by hunting insects and other small animals using their strong jaws. This creature looks so strange that it almost seems like a mix between a dragon and a lizard. After looking into it, it turns out it is called the red-eyed crocodile skink. It is a small reptile native to the rainforests of New Guinea, named for its bright red-orange eyes and rough scales that resemble a crocodile. It usually grows around 8 to 10 inches long and has spiky scales along its back that give it a prehistoric look. Despite its scary appearance, it is actually shy and non-aggressive, often freezing or playing dead when threatened. It mainly eats insects like crickets and mealworms, and it is known for making sounds when stressed and sometimes even caring for its young. Early one morning, around 7 a.m., a Reddit user went outside to smoke and quickly relieve himself behind a tree. That is when he suddenly felt uneasy, like someone was staring at him from the direction of a nearby shed.
What the bro?
He grabbed his phone and started recording. In the shed window, a grayish face seemed to be staring back at him, but when he went over and looked inside, there was nothing there except an old car and some workout equipment. Still, the video proved he was not imagining it. Something really was there, but what was it? While hiking alone, an Instagram user named Smithereens captured something really unsettling. He had a strong feeling that someone or something was following him. At first, he ignored it, but then he pointed his camera toward the trees.
Come out. Come out from behind the tree, I see you. Okay, we gotta go.
Behind one of the trees, a pale figure can be seen peeking out. The moment he noticed it, panic hit and he took off running. The clip ends with him sprinting away. There is no follow-up, but since the footage was uploaded, he likely made it out safely. Still, one question remains. What was watching him from the trees? Someone is seen holding a massive centipede crawling across their arm. It is an Amazonian giant centipede, one of the largest centipedes in the world, reaching around 12 to 15 inches long. This is not a harmless insect. It is a powerful predator known for its aggressive hunting and intimidating appearance. Its body is covered in tough segments, and its legs move in a rippling motion as it crawls. It also has sharp claws and venomous front pincers that can deliver a painful bite strong enough to take down small animals in the wild. Yet in the video, it is casually crawling on a person's arm like it is some kind of pet. While checking the trail camera footage deep in the woods of Tennessee, they were stunned when they heard this. The woman who recorded it was sure it was Bigfoot. Later, her nephew shared the clip and mentioned that Tennessee is known as a Bigfoot hotspot. But the real question is, was it actually Bigfoot or just some other animal making that sound? Lucas was walking through the woods in rural Pennsylvania with his friend Gavin when a nasty smell suddenly hit them. Thinking it might be a dead animal, Lucas pulled out his phone just in case. But then he got that strange, gut-level feeling that they were being watched. Through the trees, he spotted something huge crouching low. It had the look of an ape, but the way it stood up and moved was more like a person. Lucas quickly snapped a photo and then recorded it as it disappeared deeper into the woods. They were completely frozen, unable to even say a word. To this day, there is no clear explanation, and Lucas believes it was definitely not human. 3 years ago, someone heard a horrifying scream right outside their house. The scream came from the woods near a steep drop that led straight to the highway, right across from a cemetery. It sounded like a terrified woman crying out, but they were not fully sure and thought it might have been an animal. Still, they called the police and even sent them the video, but nobody ever followed up. No missing person reports, nothing. Even years later, that scream still sticks in their mind. This bird looks like it is breaking the rules of flight. Instead of flying normally, it appears to be calmly stepping through the air, as if invisible stairs are holding it up. It feels unreal, almost like a trick, and it is hard to believe it is not edited, but the movement still makes it strangely convincing. The footage shows unusual crafts in the sky, projecting beams of light upward. What is strange is that the lights stretch across the entire visible sky instead of staying close to the objects. Some believe it could be an aerial display, while others think it might be aircraft engaged in dogfighting, but there is very little context to confirm anything. On November 24th, 2021, the couple behind the account Follow Pete and Ash went on what was supposed to be a peaceful cabin getaway in the woods. But while recording a video for their followers, something weird happened.
I'm just walking through the woods.
You're very graceful.
I mean, I'm trying to record and walk at the same time. What?
You hear that?
No.
Listen.
that footsteps? Do you see anything?
No. Ash, from here.
What? What is it?
Yeah, this is.
Pete, look at this.
Follow them? What does that mean?
I don't know, but we should really get out of here. We gotta get going.
A few moments later, a chilling sound echoed through the trees. They quickly turned around, but the video never received any follow-up, so whatever or whoever was out there that day remains unknown. While staying at an Airbnb near the woods, someone began hearing creepy sounds and decided to start recording. Still feeling uneasy, they chose to go check it out. As they followed the sounds deeper into the woods, the cries got louder and sounded more real. Then, just beyond the tree line, everything suddenly stopped. Two glowing eyes stared at them from the darkness. They immediately ran back inside, shut the doors, and hoped that people online could give a reasonable explanation for what they saw. A bizarre-looking creature was allegedly seen near a village, roaming around and stealing food. It seemed to be suffering from a skin condition and had a long tail with small patches of hair still visible. With more strange sightings being reported and caught on trail cameras, it is hard not to question whether this is just a normal animal or something much more unusual. Every new appearance adds to the mystery, leaving the same thought behind: is this simply a sick or mutated creature, or could it be something that does not fit into any known explanation? A strange event happened at Troutbeck Lake in England when a family arrived at their holiday home and found hundreds of sheep standing completely still in the fields.
I don't know what it is, man. We'll lick it and find out.
They had apparently been frozen in place for hours, which worried the people watching. Local shepherds said it was nothing unusual and blamed it on a sudden temperature change, but the scene still felt like something odd was going on. This one looks straight out of a nightmare. At first, it looks like a mouse, and that is probably what most people would assume, but its movement feels strange, and its face looks completely unusual. Instead of having two normal eyes, it almost looks like it has one big eye. Even its paws look oddly cat-like, which makes the whole creature seem even more unnatural. Overall, it gives off a weird cat-human rat vibe. It is hard to tell if it is real or if someone is just messing around. While crossing the road to meet the man filming her, a car came speeding straight toward her, but somehow stopped abruptly right at her feet without harming her at all. And what is even crazier is that she does not seem to realize she just escaped death because she keeps walking like nothing happened. But when you look at the car, it looks like it crashed into an invisible wall since the hood is completely messed up. So, was she protected by something she could not see, or is there another explanation? Share your thoughts in the comments. A strange little creature was filmed inside someone's home. It looked like a tiny humanoid with a big belly and an unsettling appearance. The moment it seemed to realize it had been seen, it quickly moved away, almost wobbling as it ran. Its small size and weird features made it both creepy and fascinating, and the way its belly swayed as it moved made the whole scene feel oddly eerie. Now people are arguing over what it could be, with some claiming it is something demonic and others saying it is clearly CGI. This clip is disturbing. At first glance, it might look like some weird crab because of its color, but it is actually a tarantula. The scary part is that it seems to be acting like a zombie. This happens because a parasitic fungus infects the spider and slowly takes control of its nervous system. It forces the tarantula to move to a location that is ideal for the fungus to spread. Once there, the fungus kills it, feeds on it from the inside, and eventually breaks through its body to release spores into the environment. It is a gruesome but real example of how brutal nature can be. Thankfully, humans are not affected by this fungus. A man was walking his dog through the woods in Georgia when he captured something creepy on camera.
Where is it?
Deep down an overgrown trail, they spotted a massive, dark figure. The dog took off after it, and the man ran behind until the thing suddenly moved. It was tall, dark, and sprinted on 2 legs with an unnatural speed. The man panicked, yelled, and ran away with his dog. And since people in North Georgia have reported similar sightings for years, many locals believe Bigfoot might actually be out there. This footage was recorded in Rough Mountain, Colorado, an area known for alleged Bigfoot vocalizations. In the clip, strange sounds can be heard that do not resemble any common animal.
What is that?
That was Bigfoot.
Seriously?
The person recording is convinced the noises came from Bigfoot and even tells a family member the same thing. Later, while heading back, they reportedly found footprints that were much larger than a normal human's. After seeing the tracks and hearing the vocalizations, they became even more convinced they had encountered Bigfoot. Explorers often take necessary risks to capture rare footage, and this clip is a perfect example. Recorded deep in the woods at night by a trail cam, it shows a massive grizzly bear circling the tree where the camera is mounted. At first, the bear seems focused on its surroundings, but then it suddenly leaps and slams into the camera, sending it crashing to the ground. The camera's red light likely caught its attention and triggered the reaction. Bears are highly intelligent and curious, but also unpredictable, which is why keeping a safe distance from them is always the smartest move. In this trail cam footage, everything looks normal at first. A deer is calmly grazing and eventually walks away. But when the audio is enhanced, a disturbing sound can be heard in the background. It sounds like a mix of a howl, a bark, and a roar. Some people think it could be wolves, but locals doubt that. Others believe it might be something unknown. In this eerie image, a pair of glowing eyes can be seen hovering among the trees in the darkness, leaving their source unknown. When it comes to glowing eyes, 2 possibilities usually come to mind. The first is normal nocturnal animals like coyotes or raccoons, whose eyes often reflect light at night. The second is the paranormal side of things, with creatures from folklore like skinwalkers or dogmen. With those eyes staring into the trail camera, it becomes hard not to wonder whether it was just a hidden animal or something far more mysterious. The footage is dark and both animals are hard to see clearly. A skunk is quietly drinking water by the riverbank when a possum suddenly appears. Usually, animals like this stay out of each other's way, but this possum does something unexpected. It walks up and casually pushes the skunk into the water. It is a strange and funny moment that proves wildlife can be completely unpredictable. Trail cameras make it possible to catch rare scenes like this that most people would never believe. A man in Tennessee was outside one evening when he noticed something unusual in the sky. A bluish glow was pulsing across the clouds, and at first it looked like a storm forming, but the longer he watched, the stranger it seemed. The light appeared to outline a saucer-like shape, blinking in and out of view as if it was fading or phasing through the clouds. Its edges would glow brightly, disappear for a moment, then reappear again seconds later. The footage makes it hard to tell whether it was some kind of advanced aircraft or something unexplained like a UFO. The footage shows people stepping into massive footprints that look way bigger than any normal animal track. These were not just taken for fun either. The photos were actually sent to the park ranger's office by the people who found them. The tracks were spotted in Canyonlands National Park, which makes the whole thing even more confusing. Because of how huge and deep the prints are, many believe it could be Bigfoot, and honestly, it is hard to think of another creature big enough to leave marks like that. If it is not Bigfoot, then what could have possibly made those tracks? This footage shows a strange cloud-like tunnel stretching from the ground straight up into the sky. At first, it looks like a tornado is forming, but the weather around it is calm and clear. Inside the tunnel, something dark can be seen moving upward, almost like it is being pulled into the sky. It is hard to tell what it is, but it gives the impression of a cloud elevator. Whether it is a rare weather anomaly or something more unusual, the unclear view only makes it more mysterious. A man uploaded a clip after getting startled by something strange he saw in his bathroom. At first, he thought it might be proof that something weird was happening, and some people online even joked that it looked like aliens. But the explanation is actually simple. It was not a real snake. It was a drain snake, the long, flexible tool plumbers use to clear clogged pipes. It looks creepy when it moves, especially if someone does not recognize it. Most likely, a plumber was working on the drain, and the person filming misunderstood what he was seeing. A moose was calmly walking around at night when a trail camera caught something strange behind it. Out of nowhere, a pair of glowing eyes appeared in the trees, shining brightly in the darkness. The person who recorded the footage was confused because the eyes looked unusually large. It is also rare for most animals to stalk an adult moose, since predators like wolves and grizzly bears usually go after calves instead. That is why the clip left people wondering what it could be. Some think it might be a bear or wolves, but others believe it could be something more unusual, like Bigfoot. The Sask Adrenaline Channel is usually known for calm hunts, peaceful scenery, distant wildlife, and clean footage without much chaos. But this time was different. What started as a normal hunt slowly turned into something intense, where the forest felt like it was watching back and every second mattered. The group was deep in the woods when they spotted a massive black bear circling a barrel. Instinct took over, and they quickly climbed up a nearby tree, hoping the distance would keep them safe. At first, everything was quiet and controlled, just watching and staying alert. But that calm disappeared fast when the bear suddenly stopped moving, and the silence felt dangerously heavy.
Mike he's got pictures of some real nice bears here. One, a lot of bears, but one real nice black bear. And it's a nice night here in Saskatchewan, and we're just gonna see what we see.
The mood in the woods suddenly changed, almost like everything went quiet at once. The bear turned toward the tree where they were hiding and began walking over slowly, not rushing, just watching them. Then, out of nowhere, it switched up and took off running straight at them. The men held onto the branches with all their strength, realizing things could go bad in seconds. But the bear did not stop underneath the tree. It started climbing up with terrifying speed and quickly ended up right above them.
What the heck do you do? Just don't move.
bear paused for a moment, moving its head side to side like it was studying them, then climbed back down. The tension stayed because it returned to the barrel it had been circling earlier. Just when they thought it was over, a second bear came out of the trees and instantly charged the first one, chasing it away like it was defending its territory. Everything turned chaotic within seconds.
I was about to hit the tree.
If they both would have came up again, I
Jumped.
I thought for sure it was gonna kill it.
They realized something terrifying. If the first bear had attacked and failed, the second one could have finished the job. Escape would have been impossible, so they stayed in the tree, waiting until the bears finally left. After that, everything went quiet, but the silence did not feel calm. It felt like a temporary truce. The moment was a harsh reminder that climbing a tree does not always mean safety. Sometimes it just brings you closer to danger. Someone was walking down a road around sundown when they spotted a glowing orb floating slightly above the ground. It hovered there for a short time, then slowly began to move away. Orbs like this have been seen in many places around the world, but no one really knows what they are. Some people believe they could be connected to alien activity, possibly acting like probes. Others think they are natural light effects like ball lightning or swamp gas. Many skeptics believe most of these sightings are staged using tricks or technology. Either way, the clip is strange enough to spark debate. A family recently moved into a new home near a river, and not long after, they started hearing strange cries from a woman late at night. Every time they went outside to check, no one was there. Eventually, they decided to review the security camera placed near the area where the sounds seemed to come from. What they saw was chilling. The footage showed a ghostly figure in a robe quietly walking toward the river in the darkness. The eerie scene reminded them of the legend of La Llorona, the weeping woman, said to haunt areas near water while crying for her lost children. A couple of teenagers went out one night just trying to have some fun, but things quickly took a strange turn. When they reached the park, they spotted an unusual figure walking around, dressed in a weird outfit that they could not identify. The sight immediately reminded them of a recent mysterious death in the same park, where a body was found with no clear signs of foul play. Because of that, they started believing the figure might be something paranormal, and possibly even connected to the death. They uploaded the video online, and it went viral. Locals later said they had been noticing an eerie presence in the park for a while, and many believed the footage confirmed their fears. Fire is not supposed to appear out of nowhere, but this clip shows something that looks like a flaming bubble suddenly forming in the sky. It shows up without warning, glows for a brief moment, and then disappears completely as if it was never there. No one knows what caused it, so people are left guessing. Some think it could be a secret experiment or weapon test, while others believe it might be something paranormal. With no real details to go off, it is hard to prove anything, which only makes the sighting more mysterious. Hikers in the woods witnessed something strange that looked like a leaf floating in midair. At first, it might seem like the wind was lifting it, but there was no visible wind at all. That made the moment feel even more mysterious. Some people suggested it could be a silkworm or a thin spider web holding the leaf up, even though it was almost impossible to see. Since nothing was clearly visible, it is hard to confirm what was really happening. It is just another reminder that nature always has its own surprises. camping is usually a fun and relaxing activity for families. But this footage suggests something unsettling happened during one trip. If the video is watched closely, a strange figure can be seen quickly running past a young boy. It happens so fast that it is easy to miss. The family later had the footage reviewed, and experts said there was nothing in the environment that could explain what appeared on camera. That left them believing it was something real that had been there with them without their knowledge. A puppy suddenly showed up at someone's house looking almost exactly like their own dog. It was calm and friendly, while the other dog seemed irritated, making it look like one of them might not belong there. That led people to start guessing which one was the real pet, with some even joking that the stranger could be a skinwalker. In another clip, a dog is seen sitting upright in a strange position, almost like a human, with its front legs looking unusually strong. Some viewers turned it into another supernatural theory, but it is probably just a dog acting weird in its own normal way. This clip, known online as the apparition from hell, went viral fast and had everyone shocked and arguing over whether it was real. It shows something seriously unexplainable happening somewhere deep in the eerie landscapes of Mexico. This creepy clip was filmed in the Tuxtla region of southern Mexico. People there claimed a ghost-like figure, which looked like it was literally on fire, kept following them down the road. It supposedly appeared and disappeared a few times before they finally managed to capture it on video. To this day, no one knows if it was a real burning ghost or just really convincing effects with a low-quality camera. A trail camera captured a surprising encounter between a skunk and a possum. As the possum got closer, the skunk became defensive and attacked several times. The possum stayed calm at first and did not react, but after one final hit, it suddenly snapped. In a split second, it rushed forward, body slammed the skunk, and briefly pinned it down before letting go. After that, the skunk quickly backed off with its tail raised as a warning, and the possum walked away as if nothing happened. This clip appears to show a person floating. The uploader claims it is real, but refuses to reveal where it was recorded, saying they fear government involvement. Some viewers believe the footage is authentic, while others think it may be edited. Many suspect the video does not show the full picture, and that the person could be suspended using a hidden harness or parachute. This clip was posted online and quickly went viral. At first, no one knew what to make of it, but as more footage and conversations appeared, many started believing it might be something extraterrestrial. The speculation grew even more after reports from a U.S. congressional hearing suggested UAPs could be present in the oceans. The fishermen who captured the footage were reportedly pressured into staying silent, and when everything is connected, it becomes clear why. The Endurance Adventures channel is all about pushing through tough outdoor challenges and spending time alone in nature, usually through wild camping and hiking across some of the UK's most rugged landscapes. The host treats every trip like a test of survival and self-reliance, always ready for whatever brutal British weather shows up. On this particular adventure, he teamed up with fellow explorer Rambin Rachel UK for a winter wild camp in the woodlands of Northamptonshire. But the goal was not just camping, they also wanted to experience the eerie local folklore tied to the ancient forest. On February 11th, 2024, they picked these woods for a reason, since the area is known for its dark history and is rumored to be haunted by the ghost of a female rider. The legend goes back over 200 years to Mr. and Mrs. Fitzgerald, whose marriage was miserable. Mrs. Fitzgerald supposedly began secretly riding her white horse to meet a lover in a nearby village, and when her husband found out, he became obsessed with jealousy. One night when she returned, he waited for her in the servants' court and shot her dead. Afterward, he dragged her body into the woods and, with help from his gamekeeper, buried her among a plantation of trees. Mr. Fitzgerald then fled to Canada to avoid justice, but locals believe Mrs. Fitzgerald's spirit still roams those woods to this day.
The woods are supposedly haunted by the ghost of a female rider. 200 years ago, a well-to-do couple, Mr. and Mrs. Fitzgerald, lived in the village below these woods, but sadly their marriage was not a happy one. Mrs. Fitzgerald took a lover who lived in a neighbouring village and would ride out to meet him on her magnificent white horse. However, her husband found out and became consumed by a jealous rage. One day she returned from her illicit rendezvous to find him waiting for her in the servants' quarter with a... Before she had chance to cry out or run, he her. Fitzgerald then dragged her into the woods under the cover of darkness, aided by his gameskeeper. They buried her amongst a plantation of trees. Fitzgerald emigrated to Canada to escape justice for his crimes, but Mrs. Fitzgerald's restless spirit is said to still wander these woods. Some say she can be seen riding her white horse through the trees on her way to meet her long-dead lover. Would we see her tonight?
After a short walk, the host and Rachel found a good camping spot on a hill with a nice view. The weather was mild but very wet, and once it got dark around 5 p.m., the rain started, forcing them to head into their tents early.
I don't know if you can see me. I'm in the tent because it just started to rain, so I had to shut up the tents for a minute. So, hopefully, I think it's about blown over now. I can't hear it anymore. We'll probably just keep getting a few showers, but hopefully nothing too much. It is forecast to die out. Be a nice day tomorrow. So I might actually just make a brew. That's the only thing about a winter camp. And the summer camp, if it's nice, you can just sit out into the evening and just have a beer, just chill. It won't get dark till about 10 o'clock. It's quite warm. In the winter, it gets dark about 5. You're hunkered down because the weather's often quite rubbish. And so it can be a long evening and a long night. So that's when you need your phone with you. Perhaps just battery pack so you can watch some videos, read some books, surf the net if you've got a signal or whatever. So, yeah, I suppose it's different challenges of a winter camp and a summer camp, but it's good to have experience of them all, really, all the seasons.
By around 9:30 p.m., the host was settled in his sleeping bag and starting to fall asleep when the silence was suddenly broken, with loud, eerie screams echoing through the woods. For a moment, it felt like the legend of Mrs. Fitzgerald had come to life, but the truth turned out to be much less paranormal. The terrifying sounds were just foxes mating.
Right, all sorted now, I think. In the sleeping bag, I'm in my thermal nightwear. Everything's just about tidy. It's only about 9:30. Was at what they call hiker midnight. So it's pretty quiet outside, not too windy, not raining. I can hear a plane going over. It just seems like the whole of England is under one big gigantic flight path. So yeah, she'll be going down to sleep shortly. And so, yeah, hopefully I get some sleep, because you never sleep the same camping, do you? You never really do, unless you're really, really tired. So here's hoping I will get some sleep. And see you in the morning. Night, everyone. I could hear ghostly screams in the night. Sadly, it wasn't the restless spirit of Mrs. Fitzgerald. It was just some fornicating foxes.
She woke up around 6 a.m. after a surprisingly warm and comfortable sleep, but the morning was covered in thick mist. After coffee, they packed up and cleaned the area, even picking up a few empty beer cans left behind. On the way down a steep, muddy slope, she slipped and slid down on her backside, ending up covered in mud, but completely fine.
Look at that. There's Mount Doom over there. Looks very otherworldly at the minute. It's very beautiful. A lot of trees down though. Wouldn't recommend pitching up right under one, which we didn't. We're in open space, no trees over us whatsoever. Right, we've had a bit of a mishap. We're just going down this steep slope. We both slid, but I was the one that actually went down on. So I don't think it's a pretty sight. So I'm just going to be covered in mud all day now. I can't breathe. Oh, it's bad.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Well, you don't do things by halves, do you?
So I don't fall over by halves, that's for sure. There we are, we're coming to Forsley Church. So we're going to have a stop in there, have a brew, just have a bit of a rest. And plonk my muddy self down somewhere. Can't believe I fell over. Well, I can actually, I'm always doing that. Every time I go out for a walk, I'm falling over. So clumsy.
The Winter Wild camp in the haunted woods of Northamptonshire ended up being a case of expectation versus reality. She never encountered Mrs. Fitzgerald, but the trip still had its own thrills, from creepy screams in the night that turned out to be foxes, to the cold, wet conditions and a funny slip down a muddy slope. Back at the car, she admitted the adventure was over, and the real work, cleaning all the gear, was about to begin. A trail camera captured what looks like a humanoid white rabbit standing directly in front of the lens, wearing a white top. At first glance, it feels like something out of an animated movie, almost as if humanoid animals could be hiding in the woods. But the truth is much simpler. It is clearly just someone wearing a rabbit costume for fun. The person likely spotted the trail camera and decided to mess with it, creating a funny and harmless moment rather than anything paranormal. A hunter says that every time he goes into the forest, a strange paranormal figure seems to follow him. According to him, it keeps showing up in spots that are hard to notice, which is why most people miss it. This time, he went in to capture proof because no one believed him before. Now, people are questioning whether the footage shows something real or if he used CGI out of frustration to finally convince others. This clip shows an unusual water phenomenon where perfectly round ice spheres are floating on the surface. At first, they look like they were made and placed there by someone, but they are actually formed naturally. As water currents move and roll pieces of ice around, they slowly shape them into smooth, ball-like forms. It is a rare and mesmerizing example of how nature can create something so perfectly shaped on its own. The photo was taken during a night hike in upstate New York in November 2021. The hikers were walking through a grassy field and snapped a quick picture. Later, when they looked at the photo again, they noticed a strange figure hidden in the tall grass. They went back during the daytime, thinking it might have been a scarecrow, but there was nothing there. No scarecrow, no footprints, just an empty field. Some people suggested it could have been a farmer, but considering the time, the freezing weather, and the lack of light, that explanation does not really make sense. Meet the team behind Beersos, a US-based channel that shares messy first-time outdoor trips without editing out the chaos. Their content shows what happens when they are not fully prepared, and minor issues spiral fast. On October 26, 2025, they reached Gold Creek campsite in a good mood, laughing about how little they had planned, not realizing that the fading light and unknown area were about to make the night much harder than expected.
Oh! Ah!
Nico.
That's okay.
Dude, don't get it dirty, bro.
How do I not do that? It's in the forest.
Wait, bro, this is good. This is big.
This is really good, actually.
So I know you need the poles.
Dude, I've never set up a tent in my life, bro.
I've never set up. I've only watched a 4-minute video of someone doing it.
Did you ever go camping with your dad?
No. My dad was Chinese, bro. You know, our tent's supposed to be $100. Like, you know, like I bought.
Did you buy? It was $100.
Yeah. Like, is that really cheap?
I think, yeah. 100.
It's 100. But it's Amazon Basics though. Like, Amazon Basics aren't bad. They're never bad.
Setting up the tent quickly turned into a mess. The rocky ground would not let the stakes go in properly, and parts were forced into place the wrong way. Small injuries happened, and every attempt to fix things seemed to make it worse. The mood shifted back and forth between laughing and getting annoyed, while the remaining daylight kept fading, pushing them to finish before it got completely dark.
Wait, do the other sides, do the other sides, do the other sides.
Okay, Celeste, tell me, is it through the hole or through the loop?
I ain't saying nothing until you guys up more.
Hole or loop?
Hole.
Metal hole? Metal hole?
Yeah, I think that's giving better vibes.
Guys, this is so fun.
Wait, dude, it's literally happening. This is so cool.
Okay.
Out of nowhere, heavy rain hit, quickly flooding through the mesh tent and soaking everything inside. Unease turned into real stress as night fell, and the possibility of animals nearby felt more real. With freezing temperatures and little experience to rely on, the situation went from exciting to exhausting fast.
Fuck. Oh my god. I'm so over this.
Celeste.
I'm actually over this.
Celeste, we're done.
Oh god.
My two helpless children.
Oh god. Oh wait, you shoved the
what?
key in there?
So the idea is,
Dude,
at least from my understanding,
you
is
shoved
this
the
is
key in
this is supposed to go in here, and then this one you nail it down to the ground because it's L-shaped will keep it from coming back up.
Honestly, bro, I'm gonna just let him do it. I'm tired.
Okay, we have to do 2.
Yeah. Hammer,
I didn't know you needed a hammer to go camping. Like, that's so weird.
A nearby camper noticed their struggle and lent them a mallet, which finally helped secure the tent pegs. The relief was immediate, but they realized the trip was far harder than expected. Cooking was just as difficult, with wind and rain disrupting the stove and filling the area with smoke. Inside the leaking tent, they admitted the night had been exhausting, stressful, and much tougher than they imagined. The experience showed how quickly excitement can turn into anxiety, even without a direct threat. Inside an abandoned building in the Chernobyl disaster zone, something disturbing was spotted. Hidden among the decaying ruins was a massive pink creature with long, stretched-out limbs that looked completely unnatural and gave off an eerie vibe. The sight was so strange that it immediately sparked theories about some kind of mutated animal. Some people even compared it to a squid or an octopus, but those creatures do not belong anywhere near that region. Others thought it could be something like a mutated earthworm. In the end, the footage is so unclear and bizarre that it is hard to tell what it really is, and it could even be fake. Social media is full of unsettling clips, and this TikTok video is a perfect example. The user says he returned home after an errand and was shocked to see a terrifying figure inside his house. A strange, devil-like shape with glowing eyes was staring at him through a glass window. It stayed there silently, then turned around and disappeared into the darkness. What makes it even more disturbing is that the uploader claims he lives alone, which makes the situation harder to explain. While walking through a nearby forest with a friend, someone stepped into a small clearing and immediately froze. Something disturbing was hanging from a tree. No one knows how it got there or why, but seeing it in such a quiet, isolated place made it even more unsettling. They did not try to get closer or figure it out. Instead, they quickly turned around and left, shaken by what they had just seen. A trail camera captured a raccoon that looked like it was posing for a selfie. It stares straight into the lens like it knows exactly what it is doing, while 2 deer casually graze in the background. The moment looks so perfectly timed that it almost feels intentional. It is a funny reminder of how clever raccoons can be, and it honestly looks like this one is ready to compete with influencers. This image looks exactly like what an alien invasion would look like. The sky is dark and several glowing circular objects appear to be hovering near the horizon. They give off a soft, eerie light and seem to be moving up or down in a strange way. The person who shared it claims it was real, and the scene definitely looks mysterious. But something feels off. The objects are too perfectly lined up, the glow looks too even, and the whole image feels almost too clean, which makes it seem like CGI. Still, if it is authentic, it could be something truly unbelievable. The Northwest Wind is an outdoor adventure channel where the host shares real camping and exploration experiences, usually while searching for quiet, remote land. For over 15 years, he has dreamed of owning property along the Allegheny River, and this video follows a last-minute campout to test whether a recently listed 2-acre lot truly feels like home before the final buying deadline. With a noon cutoff approaching, he decides to spend the night on the land, even though it is not perfect. The river access is poor, the terrain is steep, but the big price drop makes it worth one final check. The goal is simple: see if the place feels right for a long-term future. With little daylight left, he quickly sets up a cozy truck camp in his Chevy Silverado and uses his ABEC 3600 power station to keep things comfortable.
ABEC 3600 power station with me. It's pretty much going to do everything for me tonight. If you go watch my abandoned train tunnel stealth camp, I reviewed this for the first time, loved it. I also did a standalone review for this while I shot that. So if you want to know more about the ABEC 3600, links in the description, more info in the description. You can go watch the train tunnel video, go watch the standalone video. I beat the heck out of it and it still works really well. I use it all the time. I didn't come out here to make this video for ABEC, but I'm gonna use this thing heavily in this video. So since they are such an awesome partner of the channel and have been showering me with their lovely power stations for a year now, and as you can see, it's got all the regular plugs. It's got an RV plug, or you could plug your dryer into it. We've got 12-volt power. We've got regular USBs. We've got USB-Cs. I think if you're looking for a power station, you can watch my reviews, my other camping videos where I use mine, and I think if you're going to buy a power station, this should be the brand that you choose. I've always been more of like a simpleton when it came to like cooking and eating. You know, give me a frying pan over a fire or a pot, or my jet boil is what I mainly use. And when I was packing the truck today, I was throwing this in here because I brought my laptop so I can watch a movie tonight because I knew I was going to truck camp. So tonight we're going to be cooking dinner in the air fryer powered by the ABOC. And then I'm going to use the ABOC to charge my laptop or just throw on American Pickers or something. R.I.P. Frank. Rest in peace, Frank Fritz. I'm also going to use it to blow up that inflatable air mattress set that's specifically for the back of pickup trucks that Jessica got me as a gift. It's cold too. It's in the 40s and it's going to drop down to about 30 degrees tonight. So it's cold. The frost is on the pumpkin. 97%. It says at the current draw, and the screen doesn't flash like that. That's because I'm filming, but just figured I'd point that out. At the current draw, it says 32 days it would last.
He used his power station to inflate a full-size air mattress in the truck bed, then made dinner by cooking cream cheese jalapeno poppers in a portable air fryer. As the sun went down, he took a moment to appreciate the area, saying it had almost everything he loved in the world, second only to his wife, Jessica. But once it got dark, the calm feeling disappeared fast when he heard a truly disturbing sound coming from the woods while he sat in the front seat of his truck.
There's a noise coming from the woods right now. It sounds like a woman screaming. I was sitting in my front seat with the heated seat on, warming up. It's been dark for a long time now, and it sounds like a woman screaming bloody. Literally, I'm freaking out right now. I don't know what the hell that was, but that has me absolutely terrified. I'm not lying. Literally, I don't want to be here anymore. I don't know what that was. It literally sounded... Hang on, let me get... I feel like I'm being watched right now. This isn't even funny. I was on the phone. Okay, I'm going to get in here and I'm going to lock these doors. And okay, hang on a second. It sounded like somebody was screaming bloody... It sounded like a human. It sounded like a woman was being tortured or beaten. I was on the phone with Jessica and I kept hearing it, and I opened my door and it got more severe, like it was more blood curdling. And I literally told her as I'm picking up the camera to start recording, I said, let me call you right back. And I opened the door and it was really loud and it sounded really close.
The screams came and went, sounding like someone was in serious pain, and they were so disturbing that he had to end a call with his wife to check what was happening. When he opened his truck door, the screams got even louder and felt dangerously close. But the moment he stepped out and started recording, everything went silent. Shaken and convinced it was a woman in distress, he immediately left because the remote road made escaping difficult. Still unsettled, he drove toward the main road and called the state police. 2 officers later arrived and followed him back to the property where they checked the area near an old cabin. After that, he left for good and decided not to buy the land, saying it was a clear sign to trust his instincts. A trail camera owner set up the camera at night, hoping to capture normal wildlife, but instead recorded something strange. In the footage, a creature stays out of frame, but its shadow is clearly visible in the grass. When the owner looked closely at the silhouette, it did not match any animal known to live in that area. To make it even worse, the clip cuts off right as the creature is about to step fully into view. That sudden ending only made the situation more unsettling and left people wondering what it could have been. While walking their dog, a Reddit user noticed what looked like a human hand floating in dirty, murky water. The image caused instant panic online, with people guessing everything from a dead body to a mannequin piece, or even a drowned animal like a possum. Later, the user confirmed it was only a swollen, waterlogged plastic glove. It was a perfect reminder that things are not always as scary as they first look. Someone went fishing and spotted something strange moving through the trees on the opposite side of the river. The figure looked tall and hairy, with broad shoulders and a distinct walking style, making it resemble the classic Bigfoot description. The footage has sparked more debate, leaving people wondering if it could be real evidence or just another case of misidentification or a staged clip. A Reddit user posted an old family photo from a camping trip. At first, it looked completely normal, but then they noticed a strange smudge on one side of the picture. The user's mother thought it might be a ghost, but many commenters said it was probably just moisture damage from being stored in an album. The distortion looked like the kind of watermark or ink bleed that can happen when photos are exposed to humidity or printing flaws. It got people curious, but it was most likely just a normal photo defect. A hiker was walking through the woods when he noticed what looked like a small boy standing in the distance, but as he approached, he realized it was not a real child at all. It was a mannequin. That only raised more questions. Who would leave something like that out there, and for what reason? Did someone actually carry it deep into the forest just to scare people, or was there another explanation? Either way, it made the whole hike feel creepy, and he ended up turning around and going straight back to his car. In this footage, 2 raccoons are seen on the ground while a deer appears to be floating in the air. It looks like the camera captured the moment at the perfect time, making the scene look almost unreal. Some might joke that it is a secret woodland talent show, and the deer is auditioning to join Santa's sleigh as the next Rudolph. Others might say it is a levitating deer casually showing off supernatural powers in front of 2 confused raccoons. Either way, the clip is strange enough to spark imagination and leave everyone wondering what was really happening. Late one night near Nakus, 2 women were driving back from Halfway Hot Springs when they pulled over along the highway around 9:30 p.m. One of them stepped out for a moment, but a deep, echoing howl suddenly broke the silence. Shocked, she quickly jumped back into the car. Seconds later, a large, black, furry creature ran across the road. It was upright on 2 legs, moving too fast and looking too tall to be a bear. One of them managed to snap 2 photos right after it crossed. They drove off, shaken, confused, and unsure of what they had just seen. A man and his friend were out on a calm autumn hike when his friend took a photo of him on a narrow bridge. But later, when they looked closer, they noticed something creepy. In the top right corner, partly hidden in the trees, there appeared to be someone, or something, standing there. The man in the photo had no idea anything was that close to him. It left them wondering if they had been quietly watched from the woods the entire time. This clip comes from Japan, and it is not about anything supernatural. It is about crop circles. The patterns look like something aliens would leave behind, especially with all the UFO hype, so it is easy to jump to that conclusion. But the truth is much simpler. These circles were created as part of a forestry research experiment. Reports show that in 1973, a land area near Nishan City was used for experimental forestry, and one study focused on how the spacing between trees affects their growth. The strange patterns seen today are simply the result of that project. The footage can definitely fool anyone at first. It might look like a buck with some crazy antlers or even something mutated, but there is nothing strange about it. The deer is completely normal. It just has tumbleweed and a few sticks stuck in its antlers, which makes them look weird and unnatural in the video. While walking his dog through a quiet part of the woods, a man came across something unsettling. In the middle of the area was an inverted pentagram surrounded by seashells, red and white candles, and scattered bones, all arranged neatly like some kind of ritual scene. What made it even creepier was how carefully it was put together. Someone had clearly taken time to build it. Whether it was a real spiritual shrine, a disturbing art project, or just a prank, no one really knows. The forest was completely silent, and when he returned later, the entire setup was gone. Chris, the explorer behind Hill, has always been obsessed with chasing the unknown, traveling to some of the most remote and mysterious places out there. His channel is packed with risky urban adventures and deep wilderness trips, but nothing could have prepared him for what he discovered hidden in the forest. What started as simple curiosity quickly turned into something terrifying, like the line between reality and something darker began to disappear, and the moment Chris stepped into the tunnel, everything changed. The silence felt heavy and unsettling, like it was closing in on him.
Today, I'm taking on one of the most dangerous explorations I've ever attempted. Over the course of one whole day, I traversed more than 10 miles in a confusing and seemingly endless tunnel system hidden deep within the forest. As I entered the portal, I noticed it was oddly quiet, and I began to have a strange feeling I was being watched. While I continued to explore deeper within the tunnels, I started to notice signs that I may not be alone, which led me to have one of the most terrifying encounters I've ever experienced. Join me on this exciting adventure.
God, I hope I don't have to duck down, or I'll be turning around. Where is this? Wow. I wonder where I'm at. It's nice and quiet though. Yeah, it keeps going. I just gotta duck under this. It's very steamy right here.
The tunnel air is damp and freezing, and as Chris moves deeper, he starts feeling like something is watching him. The shadows seem to shift, and the deeper he goes, the more wrong everything feels. He tries to ignore it, thinking it is just his nerves, but he cannot shake the feeling that something does not belong down there. Chris always thought the stories about strange creatures in these tunnels were just myths, but that belief starts breaking fast. After walking for a while, he reaches a fork where rushing water gets louder, and the ground turns slippery, so he decides to turn back. That is when he notices strange hand-carved inscriptions on the walls.
All this water. This just gets deeper and deeper.
Chris reads the words carved into the wall. Human flesh tastes better in the dark. His stomach drops instantly, and a heavy fear settles in. The tunnel suddenly feels alive, like the walls are filled with something evil. And then, out of nowhere, a scream cuts through the silence.
Did y'all hear that? Sounded like somebody screamed.
harsh, human-like scream suddenly comes from somewhere behind him, but he cannot tell where it is coming from. Chris panics and takes off running, feeling like the darkness is right on his heels. The tunnel feels endless, like it is trying to trap him. Then he finally sees a small glow of light ahead and makes it out. By the time he steps outside, it is completely dark, and the fresh air feels like a huge relief. He is free, but the fear stays stuck in his mind. The figures, the carvings, and that scream that came out of nowhere. The trail cam captured something that looks extremely strange. It appears to have many legs like a spider, with a dark brown upper body and a bright blue lower half, which makes it look completely unreal. The creature's shape and colors are so unusual that it almost feels like something out of science fiction. Some people even suggested it could be an undiscovered species, but the more likely explanation is that the footage is fake. It looks like something made using CGI or AI. A girl was camping with her friends when she took a live photo to send to her mom, but when she looked at it afterward, she noticed a dark silhouette appearing behind them as the light started to fade. They instantly turned around, but there was no one there. Shaken and confused, they had no explanation for the shadow and could not stop wondering what had been behind them. A moose was found, stuck in an apple tree after getting a little too obsessed with fermented apples. It was trying to reach the best ones higher up in the branches, but the branch it was leaning on snapped and left it trapped. With no way to get down, the moose started crying out loudly. Luckily, people nearby heard it and called for help. Experts arrived, rescued the moose, and kept it overnight so it could recover. Once it regained its strength, it quickly ran off, probably ready for another risky adventure. The uploader is asking what this could be. Many people might assume it is CGI or some kind of filter, but she insists it is real. She claims it suddenly appeared in her room out of nowhere, and she did not know how to react. She does not say whether it disappeared later or if it is still there, but she is looking for answers. Some believe it could be connected to a portal, while others think it might be a sign of an angelic presence. Either way, the clip is strange enough to leave people confused. 3 friends went to a movie theater that was nearly empty and decided to take a photo. Later, when they looked at the picture, they noticed something disturbing. A 4th figure appeared in the image, even though no one else was supposed to be there. The shape looks like a woman wearing a dark dress and a hat, almost like someone from the Victorian era. The unexpected presence of this old-fashioned figure in a modern cinema has sparked questions about the building's past and whether there have been paranormal stories linked to it. Now, people are left wondering if the photo is genuine or just a clever hoax. During a vacation in Cambodia, 2 girls went out to explore a forest trail. At first, it felt completely normal until they both started feeling like someone was watching them. They kept looking around, trying to convince themselves there was a reasonable explanation. Then they spotted it, a dark figure behind them. The camera captured it for a moment before they panicked and ran. They never found out what it was, but whatever was following them did not feel human. The uploader claims he nearly died trying to capture this footage, but the explanation is actually straightforward. The glowing antlers may look unsettling at night, but they belong to a harmless reindeer. In Finland, thousands of reindeer are killed in car accidents each year because drivers cannot see them clearly in the dark. To reduce these crashes, some reindeer have their antlers painted with reflective paint, making them easier to spot at night. This Is Life is a channel hosted by Matt, where he shows that anyone can enjoy adventure without expensive gear or a big budget. His goal is to push people to take care of their mental health by simply getting outside, breathing fresh air, and enjoying life. Most of his content is based on easy outdoor trips like car camping in his Land Rover LR2, proving you can have a great time with what you already have. In this video, his weekend trip starts at Spanish Banks Beach in Vancouver, British Columbia, where he arrives on a sunny early December day and finds the parking lot packed with people from the nomadic camping community.
All right, guys, welcome to my channel. Welcome, everybody. My name is Matt. In today's video, I'm just going to bring you guys along for the weekend camp out at the Spanish Banks in Vancouver, British Columbia. I'm going to kind of show you around. I'm going to show you my setup I have in my Land Rover. It's a beautiful day, nice and sunny. There's lots of other campers. People are sleeping here for sure. There's signs that say the gates close at 10 p.m. I don't think that's true. My friend tells me that's not the case. A lot of people stay here all the time. And so that's what we're doing. We're going to be cooking up a nice meal tonight. I've got a steak. I've got my camping stove. We've got the beach. We're going to do some nice walking. Just a day in the life at the Spanish Banks.
Absolutely beautiful beach here. This is December 2nd, December 3rd. This is early December. It's not too many people, a lot less people in the parking lot. There's tons of space. You got some boys filming a music video over there. Just positive vibes all around. All right, so you got good parking. Nobody comes to bother you. You have privacy. You have bathrooms. In the summer, you have showers. A lot of van lifers come here to camp in peace. It's a beautiful spot. I don't blame them. But I think it's getting time to make some lunch.
Even though the sign said the gates closed at 10 p.m., Matt knew this spot was popular and usually left alone for car campers. He showed his simple Land Rover setup, cooked a quick meal on his camping stove, and reminded viewers that getting outside for mental health does not require expensive gear. Later, he met up with his friend and they relaxed for the night before deciding to start a campfire on the beach.
Making a fire on the coast of Vancouver. Life. This is life.
Matt used prepaid firewood to start a campfire, sat back in his Kuma chair, and enjoyed the calm night by the Vancouver coast. The whole experience stayed peaceful with no strange noises or problems, just a few other campers nearby. The next morning was a bit cold, but he made it through the night and watched the sunrise over downtown Vancouver. Before ending the video, he strongly recommended the Spanish Banks parking lot for car camping, saying it is private, spacious, and a safe spot for anyone wanting to try it. Josh Life Adventures follows Josh as he travels in his custom van and shares the real side of van life, including maintenance, cooking, and solo camping in remote places. On November 11, 2024, near Lake Superior, he spent his last day in Minnesota cleaning and organizing his van while trying to charge his batteries. Since the charging was not working well because of the weather and lack of sunlight, he moved to a campsite by a lake. After settling in, he built a strong fire, started cooking burgers, and while talking during a taste test, a strange, unknown sound suddenly came from the dark woods nearby.
Do you guys hear that? Okay, my camera battery just died. I have no idea what that was. It's gotta be deer. Right? What would be walking through a lake? Is that a bird? Huh. Well, I think I'm gonna pack up and get inside the van.
After getting back inside the van, he said the sound really unsettled him because he had no clue what was moving out in the water. To him, it sounded like something with legs was literally walking through the lake, and it gave him such a bad feeling that he decided to call it an early night and rely on his diesel heater. The next morning, the lake looked peaceful, but he kept thinking about what he heard. He pointed out that the noise seemed to come from a rocky area where the water was only a few feet deep, and since it sounded like footsteps, he half joked that it could have been something like Sasquatch. But whatever it was, he never figured it out. He ended the trip saying, "Solo van life in remote places can turn creepy fast," and promised more unpredictable adventures ahead. The man had placed a trail camera deep in the woods, expecting to capture wildlife. When he reviewed the footage later, he was shocked by what appeared on screen. Some viewers insisted it was just a black bear, citing the fur, paws, and unusual limb positions. Others argued it was something far stranger, claiming it showed a dogman moving on all fours. The clip sparked days of debate with no clear conclusion. Whatever was captured, it left people wondering what truly roamed those woods that night. A Reddit user had just moved into a quiet, remote house on the outskirts of town, enclosed by a tall brick fence and open land. The first few days were peaceful, but one night during dinner, he heard soft scraping noises outside, like chairs being dragged across the patio. Looking out the window, he saw a faint outline of a person. The motion lights never came on, yet something was clearly there. By morning, no footprints could be found, leaving the mystery of who or what had visited that night. A Reddit user posted a photo from near her cabin in Buffalo, New York, talking about 2 creepy run-ins with a strange animal. Even though there are many deer in that area, she felt like this one was different. It stood perfectly still and stared at her for a long time, only moving when her boyfriend got right up next to it. She thinks it wasn't actually a deer, but a skinwalker trying to look like one. In late October, a woman lost a close friend and started going through old photos. She found one they had taken inside an abandoned hospital in their town. At first, it just looked like a normal memory, but then she noticed something weird. Right behind her friend was a faint, shadowy figure. It was blurry, but it was definitely there. The hospital had been empty for a long time, and the shape in the photo didn't look like another person exploring the building. A hunter, while exploring deep in the woods, discovered a troubling scene. Circular plates with handwritten messages scattered on the ground, alongside a small doll-like face. The messages seemed emotionally charged. It's unclear whether they were meant as a final note from someone or part of a ritual or spiritual practice in the forest. A trail camera set up in a backyard captured an unsettling image. Upon review, the owner noticed a figure standing in the yard at night, visible in only a single frame. The figure appeared featureless and almost partially transparent. There was no movement recorded before or after the shot, and it seemed unlikely anyone would be there, as the home is deep in the woods. Whether this was a camera glitch or something unexplained remains unclear. While hiking in Kluane Park in the Yukon, a hiker came across a large footprint pressed into the silt of a river valley. Photos compared it to women's size, 8 and 9 feet, showing what looked like clear toe impressions. Some suggested it might have been a bear's double step, but the lack of claw marks raised doubts about that explanation. In the end, the single deep print was never fully explained. What day is it? Wolven is an outdoor channel where Wolven shares his wild camping, bushcraft, and nature adventures in a real and practical way. In this video, he takes his friend Liam along for his very first wild camping trip and guides him through the basics. On November 16, 2025, they head out in miserable weather with light rain, trying to get a tarp up quickly so they can stay dry. They walk through a wooded area with dog walkers nearby while searching for a hidden spot, and once they find one, Wolven shows Liam how to set up the tarp and hang their hammocks between the trees.
Right there, right here then, yeah. 2 on this one, and 2 either there. That might work.
That could work too, though.
Yeah.
Should we try it?
Yeah, we should try that. I reckon that'll work. Best way to set up a tarpaulin is like this, guys. And Liam, just do this, wrap it around like that. Do a little 2-knot. This is like the first one, just so you can like get it up. Just so you can like adjust it. Like you'll adjust it, but that. And then sling that around. Like this one you can practically get right now. Just that, almost done. Now you've got to readjust this one. Just sling it up a little bit higher. Let's do this side.
Hammocks and eating protein.
Let's do a little test. Yes. That's good to go. Good to roll. Good to roll.
Even though the camera audio was not great, their setup worked, and the tarp created a solid cover over where they would sleep. After that, they gathered wood, started a small fire to warm up, and cooked dinner. As it got darker, and they relaxed with a few drinks, strange, unsettling noises started coming from around them.
Bro, can you hear that?
Yeah. Scary, is it?
The host started hearing a clear scratching sound coming from the woods, and Liam first thought the high-pitched noises were funny, saying they sounded like a Minecraft pig, but the sounds quickly got creepier, and the host admitted he had also heard strange screaming earlier. They tried to convince themselves it was just owls, but it got unsettling enough that they shut down the fire and climbed into their hammocks. They made it through the night, and the next morning, while sitting by the fire during sunrise, Wolven explained that the haunted noises were most likely just wildlife. He said the woods were full of loud animals, and in the end, he was sure the screaming and weird laughing sounds were coming from foxes. A Facebook user shared 2 trail camera photos taken less than an hour apart, both showing the same quiet spot in the woods. The area was once part of a colonial settlement in upstate South Carolina, where most of the settlers lost their lives long ago. Soldiers from Fort 96, near Greenwood, later came to escort the survivors to safety. In one of the photos, a faint shape appears that wasn't there before. The poster ended their post with, "I know what I see, but what about you?" Trail camera footage shows a deer with what looks like an icy face mask. The deer likely splashed water onto its face while drinking, and the freezing temperatures quickly turned the water to ice, creating a humorous and unusual appearance. While this can be explained as a natural result of the cold, some people believe the deer appears possessed, sparking debate over whether it's simply a quirky moment in nature or something more mysterious. One morning, a man used his security camera to take a photo in his cornfield near Mason Ridge, capturing a mysterious upright figure moving between the rows. The area has a history of legends about the Ridge Weaselman, a figure reportedly seen near farms and wooded areas at night. Locals had also reported unusual animal noises and agitated livestock shortly before authorities arrived. The photo spread online quickly, though its low quality, similar to many Bigfoot sightings, made it unconvincing to some, yet still intriguing. One evening, a driver was heading down a forest road when he noticed a dark, humanoid shape standing near the roadside. It appeared solid and real, yet oddly blurred at the same time, leaving the question of what it was unanswered. A TikTok user shared trail camera footage showing a dark figure appearing for a moment in a thick forest. The creature looks a bit like an ape, gorilla, or monkey. However, while gorillas usually have very short necks, this figure has a visible neck, which led some people to think it might be the legendary Bigfoot. Even though there wasn't much information given in the video, the clip is definitely interesting to watch. A few years ago, a photo was posted on a Reddit paranormal forum that was taken at 3 a.m. on Halloween with an iPhone. The picture was just of a quiet road with some trees and a small bridge, but it ended up catching a dark, human-like shape right in the middle of the frame. Locals later mentioned the road was actually built over an old cemetery. The person who took the photo said that everyone there felt creeped out, as if something was watching them from the shadows. To this day, nobody has figured out what that dark figure actually was. Around 10 p.m. after taking the Battlefield Ghost Bus ride, a woman and her niece stopped near Cemetery Ridge to take some photos. The place was quiet, misty, and heavy with atmosphere. They took pictures just seconds apart. Her niece's photo showed nothing unusual, but the woman's captured a mysterious figure, a lone man standing or walking along the ridge. No one else was there that night, and they were certain they were alone. The figure appeared only in the photo, as if a forgotten soldier still roamed the old battlefield. In 2018, a woman in Boone, North Carolina, claimed she spotted Bigfoot near the boundary of her property next to a national forest. She captured a photo that appears to show a tall, hairy figure standing in her yard. The sighting further fueled the ongoing mystery surrounding Bigfoot in the region. The footage from the woods shows a mysterious, ape-like creature lurking behind a distant tree. The figure, roughly 7 feet tall, has a broad torso, black fur, a noticeable beard, and glowing eyes reflecting the moonlight. Once it realizes it has been spotted, the creature quickly ducks and hides behind another tree. The filmer does not pursue it, leaving the encounter unresolved and the creature's true nature a mystery. A mother in Australia was taking a sweet photo of her 2-year-old daughter standing in a field. Everything looked normal at first, until she noticed a deadly brown snake slithering just inches behind her toddler. The mother froze, trying not to panic or startle it. Luckily, the child was unharmed, and the snake eventually moved away. What was supposed to be a cute moment nearly turned into a nightmare, but at least it left them with a wild photo. The footage shows a bear sitting comfortably in a swimming pool as if it owns the place. It is not trail camera footage, but it is still entertaining because the person filming sounds completely calm, as if this is a normal daily situation. The bear looks surprisingly relaxed and almost cute. It raises the question of how anyone would react if local bears started showing up in their pool every day. While heading back home on a dirt road that runs through a plantation in Chile, 2 brothers spotted a strange figure walking across the field and began recording.
Escóndete. Mira, güey. ¿Qué les dije, güey? ¿Qué les dije? No está viendo, güey. Bestia, güey. Lo seguimos.
At first, it just looked like a normal person, but the more they zoomed in, the stranger it seemed. It did not look like it was wearing any clothes, and its skin appeared gray, maybe even bluish. With the darkness, it was hard to make out exactly what it was.
Míralo, míralo, míralo. ¿Qué hubo, güey? ¿Qué hubo, güey? ¿Qué hubo? Mira. Te estoy diciendo, güey. Pues si te estoy diciendo, güey. Ahí está, mira. No mames, güey. Ahí está, güey. Ahí está, ahí está, ahí está.
The figure looked like it was wandering around, glancing in different directions, like it was confused or looking for something. Some people think it could have just been a disoriented person, while others believe it might have been something not from this world. Either way, the brothers did not stick around. They kept their distance and drove off fast. A group of friends snapped a photo during a movie night. At first, everything looked totally normal, and you could even see a clear reflection of the person taking the picture in the mirror. But then they spotted something weird. In the doorway behind them, a tall, dark shape was standing there. None of them noticed it at the time, and nothing out of the ordinary happened in the room. Even now, nobody knows who or what showed up in that doorway. The photo was recently posted online and quickly drew attention. At the edge of the tree line, a massive figure can be seen standing, appearing to be well over 8 feet tall. The image is unusually clear, making it hard to believe it's real. There's little information available about its origin, but if it's genuine, it could be one of the clearest Bigfoot images ever captured. In 2013, a photographer explored an abandoned hospital hidden in the woods, closed since the 1990s. He spent hours taking pictures and filming the decaying rooms. Later, while going through his photos, he noticed something strange. One image showed a pale, hazy figure standing in an empty corridor. It looked human, but was entirely white, wrapped in what appeared to be torn cloth, and nearly see-through. No one else had been there that day, leaving the mystery of who or what was in the photo. A 34-year-old veteran and hunter named Ocelot_Revolver89 shared a scary story from when he was looking for hunting spots in Kentucky. He set up a trail camera, and at first, it took several photos of a large deer. However, all the animals suddenly disappeared. When he checked the camera, it was still working fine. It even took a picture of him. But when he looked at the very last photo of the deer, he saw something that terrified him. Standing in the dark shadows was a pale, ghost-like figure that looked like a person, but also didn't seem human. He was so scared by what he saw that he left the area and never went back. A person was out grabbing groceries when they spotted something really disturbing. On the bottom of an energy drink can, the words "Help me" were printed right there. Was it just a dark Halloween prank, or was it a real cry for help from someone in trouble? A Reddit user posted a photo saying it was taken by one of her in-laws during a hike in coastal Georgia. They managed to capture only a single blurry shot and a short, shaky video before the figure disappeared into the trees. With the camera far away and the lighting poor, details were hard to make out. Online, people quickly debated what it could be. Some claimed it was Bigfoot, while others argued it was just a bear or a person. The family doesn't have any answers either, only that what they saw was unlike anything they had ever encountered. A visitor to Gettysburg snapped some photos of the monuments and fields. Later, while reviewing them, one image caught their attention. In the middle of a quiet cornfield, a shape appeared to stand among the shadows near the trees. The poster suggested it looked like a slave woman. Many visitors to old battlegrounds report strange sightings and uneasy feelings, and this photo seemed to match that pattern. However, while it's tempting to see something meaningful, it could just as easily be pareidolia. A bow hunter was looking for a good spot to hunt on top of an old, abandoned coal mine when his camera caught something creepy. The video shows a very tall figure, estimated to be 10 feet tall, walking across an old mining road and slowing down as it passes. Between the 1890s and 1940s, many miners died there in accidents like cave-ins and explosions, and many bodies were never recovered. The hunter now wonders if the figure he saw is the ghost of a miner who is still trapped there. During a quiet weekend at their cabin in the woods, a couple noticed something strange on their security camera near the front entrance. The footage showed a group of small, bright lights moving slowly and steadily toward the doorway. No people or animals were visible, and there was no clear source for the lights. The recording ended as the lights reached the entrance, and no further activity was observed that night. To this day, the homeowners remain unsure of what the camera captured. This photo has been shared online with very little context and seems to have been taken by a trail camera. Some say it's just a bear captured from an unusual angle, while others think it might be Bigfoot. With so little information available, no definitive conclusions can be made, leaving it a complete mystery. A hunter got a shock when he looked at his trail camera and saw a figure wearing a white robe standing alone in the dark woods. The picture is fuzzy, so it's impossible to know for sure if it's a ghost or just a person. The whole thing is very mysterious. It makes you ask how someone ended up so far out in the wilderness at night and why the photo looks so strange. Some think it's a supernatural spirit, while others believe there might be a more logical reason for the creepy encounter. A Facebook user posted about something strange she caught on video. She said she's a psychic medium and understands that not everyone sees the same things she does. One night, she went alone to a cemetery and felt like she was being watched. Later, while reviewing the footage, she believed she had captured one of those presences on camera. She described a full-body shape, not quite human, standing in a bush with glowing yellow eyes. At first, it frightened her because the energy felt dark and unsettling. Over time, though, she said the presence felt more familiar and even protective. According to her, these beings are very old and may seem scary, but are really just fearful, especially of being noticed. One morning in October, a mother was in her bedroom with her daughter while both of her sons were at school. Out of nowhere, she got a motion alert on her phone from the living room camera. Since nobody was supposed to be in there, she checked the footage and saw something super creepy. A small figure was standing behind the baby gate. It looked just like her youngest son, even though both boys were definitely still at school. Near Mount St. Helens, Tyler Barnes saw a cougar chewing on something and went closer to check. To his surprise, it looked like a hand. He took a photo and shared it online. People debated what it could be. Some thought a bear or beaver paw, but the shape looked strangely human. Experts would likely rule out bears, beavers, and humans. If the photo is real, it might be evidence of a large, ape-like creature said to live in the area's forests. Bearded pigs are real animals, and yes, they actually look like pigs with beards. They are found in Southeast Asia and have long, rough hair along their jaws, which gives them a bearded appearance. It is not a costume, just a naturally strange-looking species. Audrey and Bella is a paranormal investigation channel where the duo explores extremely haunted locations and pushes themselves with intense challenges. This investigation was part of their Month of Horror, where they visited 4 haunted places in 4 weeks. On October 16, 2025, they went to the Greene County Elms House in Waynesburg, Pennsylvania, a place known for its disturbing past involving cruelty, abuse, and neglect over 150 years ago. It reportedly had over 746 deaths, with many buried without headstones. They followed viewer challenges like splitting up in the dark for a spirit tag game and doing 5-minute solo sessions in the most active areas. Activity started immediately, including a muffled woman's voice saying "hello, hello" during a live stream. Their devices responded intelligently and led them to hotspot areas like the kitchen, linked to an infant's death, and the women's ward, where the necrometer showed unsettling messages.
If there's anyone in this ruled accidental. Ruled accidental. The death of that lady's baby was accidental.
Or just any deaths here too.
It said ruled accidental. Was your ruled accidental? Damn, I didn't even get to like say
under something.
Under something?
Is that where you are right now?
Are you under the bed? There's a lot of beds in this hallway, so that's why I'm saying that.
Table right here.
Damn, what the hell?
Feel free to show yourself if you have the power.
Scrying room? There's rooms with a lot of mirrors. You just said show yourself, and when you are in a scrying room, that's how spirits show themselves, is through the mirrors.
Is it one of the rooms down this hallway? Can you give us a sign by making a noise or through this device at all?
Look by the entrance. Look by the entrance? Like of the building or this hallway? Because I was looking down there. Disagree. We're looking. Can you show yourself and make a noise down there? Can you give us a sign you're down there? Or maybe like an entrance to a doorway?
Audrey said it felt like something was near an entrance, and when she told it to show itself, the device responded with scrying room. Later, near a room with a mirror and a toy ship, they asked if a child spirit was there, and the device replied, "Black-eyed kids, then Tom is waiting for you." When they started their challenges, things escalated. Bella heard a knock above her in the second-floor hallway, and during Audrey's 5-minute solo, she heard a screeching noise coming from the outside entrance.
I just heard like some screeching noise out there. That door leads to the outside. Dude, I'm really freaking out now. I have 3 minutes, or I'm at 3 minutes, 50 seconds. I have 1 minute left. Please, 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 please. 1 minute left. My heart is beating so fast right now, I'm gonna throw up.
Audrey heard the words, "baby carriage," which immediately scared her and made her leave fast. Bella's solo was quieter, but after asking for a sound, she still heard 2 small taps. Later, when they returned to the dungeon, the activity became more aggressive and physical. They kept getting warning messages like, "beware of the dark," and "watch out here," and things escalated to the point where they felt physical contact and their camera batteries drained instantly. By the end, they said it was the scariest night they had ever experienced, with constant unsettling communication like "black-eyed kids" and "Tom is waiting for you," making the place feel truly dangerous. In this footage, an unexpected creature was spotted inside a sewer pipe, an alligator. Alligators normally live in freshwater swamps, marshes, and lakes, so seeing one down there raises a big question. How did it end up in the sewer? It might seem like it simply wandered off course, but judging by its size, it was probably swept in during heavy flooding or strong water currents. This footage was reportedly recorded in Russia by a group of schoolboys who were out exploring the woods. They believed they were alone, but something could be seen moving in the background. The boys claimed it was a Yeti, and considering what the clip shows, it is not hard to see why they thought that. However, one thing does not add up. Yetis are usually described as having white fur, but the figure in the video does not look white at all. That raises the question of whether the common description is wrong, or if the kids were just making the story up for attention. A man in the UK went for a walk through Stansted Forest and ended up filming something creepy. As he moved deeper into the woods, he noticed strange figures floating in the air around him. The footage seems to show ghost-like apparitions, including an elderly woman, a child, and other unclear shapes drifting through the forest. According to local stories, these spirits are linked to an old couple who tragically died after wandering onto a nearby railway track. Ever since then, people have believed the forest has been haunted. Late at night, on a remote forest trail, someone recorded something seriously unsettling. A dark figure was seen silently walking in the middle of the road. It had a human shape, but no face, no details, nothing. The person who filmed it said it was around 3 a.m., but the creepiest part is that this was not the only sighting. The figure matched descriptions from 2 girls who reported a similar encounter miles away. Both stories described the same faceless, shadow-like figure wandering empty trails in the middle of the night, and that strange similarity has made many people think it might not be a coincidence. While diving underwater, this diver came across something that looks like a separate pool of water inside the ocean, and it is honestly mind-bending. It almost feels like an optical illusion because it does not seem possible. The ocean is still one of the most mysterious places on Earth, with so much left unexplored, so this could be a natural phenomenon most people have never seen before. If anyone knows what is actually happening here, drop an explanation in the comments. Daycare workers in a school basement said the children kept complaining about seeing a scary man in the classroom. To find out if it was real, a teacher decided to leave a camera recording after school hours. What the footage captured was unsettling. First, an object slid across the floor on its own. Then a toy started swaying even though no one was there. Soon after, a toy car rolled by, and a bucket of Legos on a table slid off and spilled everywhere. The strange activity made it seem like the kids were not imagining things. Some believe it could be a spirit connected to whoever lived there before the basement became part of the school, but no one knows for sure. One night around 11 p.m., a family's indoor security camera sent a motion alert. The homeowners were out of town, but what showed up on the footage seriously disturbed them. A small child was seen walking through their yard, passing right by the living room window. The house is isolated, deep in the woods, far from the main road, with no neighbors nearby. The toddler looked like they were limping, holding their lower back like they were hurt. The family checked the local news, expecting to see a missing child report, but there was nothing. To this day, no one knows what really happened. A woman was relaxing in a park and enjoying the scenery when she suddenly noticed an unsettling presence nearby. Feeling uneasy, she started recording. The footage shows a strange head slowly emerging from a hiding spot. It stares directly at her and then quickly retreats again. This keeps happening, almost like it is playing peekaboo. The figure appears bald, with no visible hair. Its neck area looks dark and shadowy, as if it is wrapped or covered. Viewers cannot agree on what it is. Some think it looks like a rake. Others compare it to a skinwalker. Many believe the clip might simply be staged. A Facebook user named Bree Ashton posted a creepy clip from her home's CCTV, filmed late at night in the middle of the woods. In the footage, a strange figure can be seen coming out from the dark forest, but instead of getting clearer as it approaches, it stays oddly distorted. Bree said it did not look or feel like a normal person at all, especially since the same camera had recorded people before, and they never appeared like this. So the question is, was it just a system glitch, or did the camera catch something unexplainable that night? The creator of 401 Files is a solo investigator who is driven by a personal experience from the past that pushed him to search for answers about the unexplained. His channel explores some of the UK's most infamous locations linked to strange activity, mixing solo camping with stories about cryptids and UFO-type encounters. He usually investigates alone with his dog Lily, documenting overnight trips and sharing viewer stories along the way. On November 16, 2025, he arrived in a new part of the North Oxford Forest that he had never explored before, and quickly set up his hammock and tarp before the weather changed. This area is known as a hotspot for weird phenomena, and he wanted to get camp ready so he could explore before dark. While setting up, he mentioned a disturbing sighting he once heard about: a large, black man-sized figure moving through the woods with an unnatural gait, almost like it was gliding across the ground.
Hi guys, thank you for joining me back here again on the channel. In this video, I'm going to be spending a solo night hammock camping in one of the UK's most notorious hotspots for strange phenomena. Without further ado guys, please do kick back, relax, and enjoy. So I think the first point of call is to get in these woods and get the tarp up as quick as possible, because although the morning has started out quite bright, quite sunny, it does look like it's going to rain. So yeah, it's quickly changing. I just want to get the tarp up and the hammock, and then we can move out from there and explore a little bit further.
Our attention was caught by something moving in the woods, and so it was like a side profile of a large man. I remember looking at this thing, and the weirdest thing about the whole situation is how it was moving. It was like it was on like a treadmill. Like it was just sitting there, and it was like an escalator, like you go to those airports where you can like stand and the escalator will just take you. And so it was basically gliding across in the deep woods, and it was inset 10 to 15 feet approximately into the woods. So I could just see a black, large man size profile just basically gliding across the ground into the woods. There was no arm movement. There was no it was very unnatural.
After setting up his hammock, he shared a viewer's story that matched other strange encounters. Two young men were camping on a beach when they spotted a light out at sea. At first, they thought it was a boat, but the light started changing colors and moving unpredictably. even making sharp right-angle turns. When one of them shone a strong flashlight at it, the object suddenly sped toward them and appeared near the shoreline. The next morning, both men woke up with severe headaches and could not remember what happened for several hours after seeing it.
I can't remember if these two guys asked to remain anonymous in the email. It's irrelevant. But the crux of the story is this. So, two guys, 18, 19 years old, height of summer, I'm not sure what year this was here in the UK, doing an overnight beach camp. Beautiful night, really warm, they had the beach to themselves, messing around, having a few drinks, whatever. And they see this light out at sea, and they both get into this back and forth debate as to whether or not it's a boat. That is quickly debunked when this light starts not only to change colour, but to move very sporadically left and right, making sharp right angle turns. And they soon realise that it's not actually even in the water, but above the water. So one of the guys has this high-powered torch and he narrows the beam down. He does this, shines it on the object, and within fractions of seconds, this light is now at the point where water meets sand, like at the edge of the beach. They didn't see this thing travel the distance that it required to get to this point. It was just boom, instantaneously at the edge of the beach. The weirdest part is what comes next. So they don't remember having a conversation about this event. They just wake up the next morning, their head is throbbing, massive headache, and they're trying to be logical as possible. They're trying to put this down to maybe it was the beers that we drunk, maybe we had more than we thought, maybe we're dehydrated, who knows, you know, with the heat, who knows.
He talked about the idea of missing time, saying that if something is advanced enough to erase your memory, then it is not cool or friendly at all. As he walked through the woods, he explained that filming is really just paying attention with a camera in your hand, and he sees himself as someone who translates what the wilderness feels like for the viewer. While exploring, the quiet was suddenly broken by a sharp noise, and he mentioned that the North York moors always seemed to have the strangest sounds.
Isn't that worse when you head out to explore and you realise that you've left your chair and your tripod back at camp? You see, this is why another good reason for getting the action camera will be... What the hell was that? Out of all the places I've come to explore in my life, the North Yorkshire Moors provides the weirdest sounds you've ever heard. In fact, I was back up here a few weeks back and I heard something creepy as hell. If I've got the footage, still, the video never came to light. I don't know why. Something happened with storage, I think, or there was some technical issue where I had to start deleting a load of things. So the video never got wrapped up, but I kept the important footage, which was the sounds that I picked up. And if I can find them throughout my album right now, I'll paste them in on this video so you guys can hear it.
He took a short break and played a cedar flute tuned to 432 hertz, creating a calm moment in the middle of the tense woods. Later, while walking again, he talked about two common details people often mention in encounters with strange beings. Witnesses sometimes describe seeing their friend's face frozen in a disturbing expression with the jaw hanging open unnaturally, and they also claim the creatures move by gliding smoothly across the ground instead of walking.
This face that I'm talking about right now, like I've said, it could be two friends out on a hike, you know, maybe they're out camping, and one of the friends sees something off in the distance that the other friend doesn't see. Now, the friend that didn't see the being off in the woods or wherever, when they look at their friend after the sighting, they say that their face is frozen in fear. Now, this would be absolutely terrifying, right? Their face, their jaw is oddly open at a level that shouldn't even be possible. It's like their face is melted and just drooped down. They look like the Scream mask, you know, the movie Scream. They look like that kind of face, frozen in fear. And usually after this encounter, when that happens, both parties end up having a period of missing time, or, you know, some kind of an abduction scenario follows soon after. That is one thing that I hear a lot of. This frozen in fear type face that is abnormally contorted, like distorted. The next thing, and a lot of you might have heard this as well, is walking or running without touching the ground. A lot of people that see these creatures claim that they look like they're on an escalator. You know, when you go to the airport and you stand on those escalators and they move you along really, really quickly without you actually even walking. Now, you can walk on them and they'll still move you along really, really quickly, but it's a weird motion.
He made it through the night alone in the New Forest, but the silence was constantly interrupted by strange sounds and his own thoughts about fear and the unknown. By combining viewer stories with his own observations, he came to believe there is strong evidence that multiple different species exist, each interacting with humans in its own disturbing ways. The night only strengthened his determination to keep searching for answers, convinced that what is out there goes beyond logic and into something truly unexplained. What do you think about it? A woman walked into a room in her home and noticed something disturbing peeking over the shower curtain. She saw a strange head shape and a pair of clawed fingers. Shocked and terrified, she quickly pulled the curtain down to see what it was, but the creature was already gone. From the brief glimpse, it looked very dark and unnatural, nothing like any normal animal. Its eerie appearance has left people confused, and even paranormal enthusiasts have not been able to explain what it was or how it vanished so quickly. People often think humans are the most creative and understand everything, but this footage might prove otherwise. It shows an animal lying on a table that looks exactly like a dog at first, but when it moves, it turns out to be a white cat. The cat has dark spots on its back that create the illusion of a dog's head while it is lying down. It is so convincing that it could probably lie among dogs and no one would even notice. It looks like a perfect natural disguise, almost like a premium body makeover. Late one night, a man was out walking his dog when he recorded something weird. As they stepped into the yard, the camera caught a dark shadow-like figure suddenly rushing across the frame before disappearing behind a tree. It happened so quickly that it was almost hard to believe. Some people think it was a ghost, while others believe it was just lighting, motion blur, or a camera glitch. Either way, the clip left a lot of viewers unsettled. A security camera at a River Hill residence captured something strange in the sky. Right as the clip starts, a bright blue streak shoots upward and quickly disappears to the left. It looks like something taking off at extreme speed, almost like a spaceship going into hyperdrive. At first, it seems like it could be a hoax, but people in the comments claimed they saw similar lights around the same time. One person said they saw a long line of lights moving slowly, almost like a train, before it suddenly vanished. Now, viewers are wondering if it was connected to unusual activity from that same night. A lot of footage has appeared over the years claiming to show alien encounters, and this clip is one of them. It shows a strange figure spotted at night with a large head, huge dark eyes, and a thin neck. Only its shoulders are visible, but the shape looks almost human. The video is shaky and blurry, which makes it feel even more unsettling. The person who filmed it believes it was a real gray alien since it matches the usual description of aliens with big heads, dark eyes, and slender bodies. Still, the fact that it looks so grainy even though it was recorded up close makes the whole thing suspicious and leaves room for doubt. A man went hiking in a location known for Bigfoot sightings. While walking through the trees, he spotted something large moving ahead of him. It was a huge creature walking on two legs and pushing through the forest without any struggle. He quickly pulled out his phone and started recording. The creature either did not notice him or simply did not react. As he slowly got closer, he could see its dark, shaggy fur and massive body. It looked around 7 feet tall, with broad shoulders and long, powerful arms. Even though the video was blurry and the trees blocked parts of it, the figure looked convincing enough to make people believe it could be Bigfoot. In June 2025, 2 people were walking along a quiet beach in the US when they spotted something odd. A human-shaped figure was standing motionless near the shoreline, not moving or responding at all. They were convinced it was not just an ordinary person, but fear stopped them from going any closer. The footage is blurry and low quality, making it hard to know what they actually saw. Was it simply someone standing by the water, or were they right to think it was something else entirely? Humans have been on Earth for thousands of years, but there are still things that cannot be fully explained, and this footage is one of them. A man spotted a glowing ball that looked like a flame falling from the sky, with a fiery tail trailing behind it. No one knows exactly what it was. It could have been a meteor burning through the atmosphere, or possibly space debris re-entering Earth in a dramatic way. Either way, it shows that no matter how advanced the world gets, the universe still has mysteries that leave people stunned. Someone was walking along a calm forest trail, casually recording the scenery, but later, while watching the footage back, they noticed they had accidentally caught something strange. A faint, white, human-like figure seems to quickly dart out from the tree line and cross the path. Some people say it is just lighting or a camera effect, while others swear it looks like a little girl in a white dress. The problem is, no extra details were ever shared, no location, no context, nothing. So it is hard to know what it really was. So, was it an actual ghost? Or just the mind seeing patterns in the woods? The footage shows a group of friends driving down isolated back roads in Queensland, Australia, searching for a location rumored to be haunted. The area is close to the site of the Camp Mountain Rail tragedy, which happened on May 5th, 1947. On that day, a passenger train carrying families and customs workers derailed while going down a steep section of track at high speed. The engine and the first two carriages left the rails, killing 16 people and injuring dozens more. It is still remembered as the deadliest rail disaster in Queensland's history.
Labor Day morning, 5th of May, 1947, Customs Department staff and their families left Brisbane Central Railway Station for a holiday picnic at Closeburn. After short stops at Middleton and Ferny Grove stations, the 7-carriage train began the slow climb over Camp Mountain Knob. Downhill from the knob, the train gathered speed and started to sway alarmingly, heading into a left-hand curve 20 miles per hour too fast. The locomotive tender overturned, pulling the locomotive off the track and into an embankment. The first two carriages telescoped into the overturned locomotive. In Queensland's worst train crash, 16 travellers, the driver and fireman, and over 30 were injured.
As darkness settled in, they drove onto narrower roads where the GPS started failing. The area felt isolated, more like private property than open land. They discussed whether to keep going or wait for others to join them. Even though they joked around, there was a quiet tension in the air. Eventually, they pulled over and stayed inside the car. That was when they noticed strange lights in the distance. They did not look like headlights or flashlights, and the way they moved seemed unusual. A quick check of satellite maps showed no buildings nearby.
It's a no-through road.
Yep, keep going. They did say it was a dead end.
Oh, did they? How do I turn around?
Yeah, this must be it, eh?
Yeah. But you know what the good thing is that I've got my car facing the right way if we've got to make a quick getaway.
Yeah, that's why I told you to turn around. Can we actually talk about like how scary it is just to be sitting here, the two of us ladies in a car, in the dark, in the woods, just waiting for a rest? I never said that. Are you calling Troy and Clayton?
The thing is, any car that comes in, because we're facing this way, the headlights are going to go into our eyes, so I'm going to be prepared to duck.
Oh, true.
I'm going to be like this. Put your seat back.
Okay. Beatrice.
Oh, Beatrice. And she's like, George, that car just stopped down there. And then he comes out and we're sitting here in our car and you see this big black shape come marching towards the car. Like,
with his
straight
shoddy.
ahead. Well, you can't see his shoddy.
Oh, the shotgun is present.
You can just see his shape. Oh, I wouldn't even wind the window down.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
The whole place was surrounded by thick trees. As they tried to figure out what was going on, the lights started getting closer. One of them thought they saw a shadowy figure near the car, while someone else noticed multiple lights moving separately through the woods. They laughed nervously, not sure what to make of it, as the camera picked up the lights flickering and changing direction in odd ways. They checked their phones again and confirmed there were no buildings around, just forest. The lights kept moving anyway. Eventually, feeling uncomfortable, they decided to leave.
Can you see? Yeah, you can. You can see it. Look. No, that's me moving the camera, but
You guys feel like a wolf? It's not that bright.
I'm just looking at that light.
it's getting brighter.
That light's getting brighter.
And it's moving.
And it's moving.
Right.
Is it?
I don't know if my eyes are playing tricks, but
There's no one
all
over there
those
too.
lights are moving up. Like moving forward or closer. Walking
Okay, so this track doesn't go round that way.
No, it doesn't.
Okay, if that track doesn't go, this track doesn't go round that way. Why was it getting closer to us that way?
Okay, come up to the bridge. You guys hearing anything?
Yeah, it's
We heard like that light is moving.
That light.
It's like
someone walking.
No,
moving
it's sort of,
around.
it's staying in the same spot, but going like.
Yeah, it goes to the left.
Oh, maybe they're just looking for something, didn't they?
No, we yelled out.
You hear? Oh.
We were going hello.
Did you get anything back?
No.
So does it look like a torch or does it look like something
It
else?
looks like a min, not a min light, but a. What's that down there?
Go maps. Just Google Maps. Go to satellite view. You're already on satellite view. So just zoom in and just have a gaze at what.
Nothing. Look.
It's trees. It's trees. Show the boys.
It's just trees.
Okay, got it again. I'm going to zoom in.
So what the hell?
See, look.
It's literally you can
It's
see
just
the dirt.
trees.
You can see the dirt on the ground.
Whatever it really was, the moment stayed with them. Were the lights just something natural, or had they come across something far more unusual out there in the Queensland bush? Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can stay updated with our latest videos.